and so it does here. In fact, even higher still in the versicle, which is quite typical of the gradual. The versicle, which is the second part of the gradual, is generally the solo part. It's quite usual for that to be sung by a cantor or by a smaller scholar, and it generally is of a wider range. Certainly a higher note is usually reached in the versicle than in the main part of the gradual. And that's certainly true in this one. As you can see, it goes to the very highest note above the last line of the stave. You see, both in elevatio, which is quite an important point to remember. And one of the things I want to talk to you about from the other chants we've got, but it can perfectly well be illustrated here as well, is the way in which very often you will find that words seem to trigger particular kinds of musical shapes or ideas. They seem to spin off on. So in this case, elevatio, raising up, actually produces the raising up of the voice. So starting on the do, so it goes right up to the A, like the la. And then there's another one again in the next line, the manum mearum, so the raising up of what? The raising up of my hands. Manum mearum. It falls in beautiful cadence way down an octave and more from where you actually reach the high point. That, of course, is slightly putting the cart before the horse, going into the verse first, but it's the way in which words are painted, sometimes musically. Now let's have a look at the very beginning, and you can see there some of the more important notes. So you've got the bottom note, which is a G in effect. Okay, so a sol. Goes up to the note above, the re. Back down again. And then up, and this time it's going to go up a little bit higher. And then to a formula which is very frequently found. Now that formula is interesting because that's very often a shorter form that you'll find. You come across that phrase actually very often. It could easily have been but in fact it's slightly extended and almost what we call reduplicated, because the actual phrase is kind of repeated itself. But it doesn't go back down to the note above the C. It actually stays on the note above the mi. And then back down again, it continues. Sigut incensu. You see how Sigut incensu rises up? Sigut incensu. That's the highest note you've hit so far on incensum. Incensu. And then in your sight, O Lord, in conspectu another typical formula at the very end for the cadence. Cadences, in other words, final points, as in most modern music, tend to be very kind of formulaic. They tend to be very similar because you know you're getting towards the end of a piece, and so a familiar phrase will bring it to an end. It's something we're very familiar with, cadences in modern music. We have so many different forms of them, perfect, vagal, interrupted and such like. All those things mark the end of a musical phrase, and so we're quite familiar with the way in which they help to bring to a conclusion a piece of music. And so it is with plain song. And that's a reminder, of course, that plain song is actually at the very roots of all our modern Western music, even though this modern music seems to be so remote from it, it's actually at the foundations of what we understand by it.